In our Designer of the Week segment this week, we meet Kalhan Mattoo at his funky and vibrant project Mocha Mojo in Mumbai.
Young, vibrant, eclectic and funky, Mocha Mojo is all that and more. The newly redone cafe at Hill Road, Bandra boasts of some innovative concepts and a 70s retro theme. We caught up with the man behind it all.
Hi, my name is Kalhan and I work for this interesting fringe design studio that has interest in everything from educational facilities to product design and everything that comes in between as well. And of late, our internationally renowned portfolio of projects includes hospitality projects like this one. It includes resorts, it includes spas, and the reason why we get involved in these projects is the challenge.
This was a project Kalhan was very excited about from the moment he heard about it.
Mocha is fun, Mocha is cool, Mocha is exciting. Mocha is about an eclectic sort of interiors that I love. I have been a fan of Mocha for long and also a patron. So when I get this call, I've been traveling and I get this call in the middle of the night that tells me that would you be interested in doing a Mocha? I wake up and I say yes, of course, and hell yes. And it was with that excitement that we got involved in the project. And while I had seen Mocha evolve over the years, I was more interested in knowing what was the way forward and where they were getting now. And my first interaction with Riaz Amlani, who's representing Mocha for us, revealed that they wanted to really upend the experience a bit.
Mocha has been around for a while, but the interiors needed to be revamped, glamorized and updated. What came was a 70s theme concept represented by intense hues, groovy lighting and crazy patterns.
There was this feeling that Riaz had that things had to change. Well, Mocha is a brilliant idea. It's a great idea that appeals to many. But like all great ideas, they need to be retold and recreated with changing needs, with changing preferences of the time. And when we came in, there was a feeling that everybody had that needed to evolve. And when we came in, we sort of precipitated that evolution of Mocha to the next level in terms of fit, finish, and also theme.
Every section stands out and yet blends in somehow, like this backlit wall and bar counter.
So we had this idea and this mental image of what we wanted that bar backdrop to be like. Unfortunately, the number of lights that we put in suddenly became too bright, and then we had to work with getting the lighting right, and so that it doesn't hurt your eye so much. And the bar front also took that same vibe and the same tonality of color. So it's a high recognition bit. People recognize this from a certain time and era, and we like this bar counter for many reasons. For obvious reasons that we did not want to hide the front, we did not put any bar stools here.
The pop art lends a zany appeal.
70s is about many things. It's also about pop art, which is, Andy Warhol, Lichtenstein, so many different, artists who have worked with very, very comic kind of mediums, and those designs, that art has become iconic, and almost all of us recognize those. So Lichtenstein is something that I am partial to his art, and I thought that we could evoke and use some of that art here. We pasted it on the walls. We created special wallpapers that carried those prints and goes around a certain alcove that we have created, which we'll come to later.
This alcove with maroon fur and shiny disco balls is a favorite corner.
70s also were about decadence, were about hedonism and that whole hippie culture. So we thought that it might be interesting to have this little space, which is a bit of an alcove, somewhere you can retreat to, and which hints at that decadence. So we created this alcove, which is lined with fur all over. So I don't know how many teddies died to create this, but it's interesting. You know, it's got this good tactile quality. You can touch the walls, you can run your hand there, and the same sort of a feel or same sort of fabric runs on the sofas as well, the couch. So it's an interesting alcove. It's red in color and quite striking. There are two disco for even a space like this, but we got this which has a bit of that vibe, and we put those there. Chrome, shiny, they sparkle, and they add that bling, necessary bling to that space.
Detailing, whether it's the walls, furniture, materials or textures, really adds character to the space.
In this whole design process, we created a series of vignettes, and these vignettes have a certain design quality to them. So as we move from vignette to vignette, the mood changes, but yet it stays within the same theme. So for one of the walls, we have used an original pattern from the 70s and printed that out on wallpaper. Now it was not done on vinyl, or it was not done on a plasticky surface, because then it wouldn't have come across as real. This is a real space, it's not a film set. So it has a tactile quality of wallpaper. You touch it and you feel it that way, but it's created now, and the colors have been enhanced to go with the mood of the space. Took a few departures here. One departure was that we didn't want to do a white ceiling, so we continued that deep crimson color right on top of the ceiling as well, and just pasted a few circles there. Now these are the graphic quality of posters from that time, for instance, and just these circles took a bright orange color. It goes with the vibe. Then we hung a few lights there. The lights again are typical of that time and era, but manufactured now, and we had to really go through a whole lot of effort to find the right kind of luminaires for this project. I think most of them evoke that time well. Big fan of movies from that time, and I used to love the fact when the villain came out of his decadent den, and typically a bedroom which had a door with this leather quilting, and that's an image that always stayed with me. So I had to use it someplace, and I used it here, and we took this quilting on the entire sofa, and it's very 70s in its feel. It's very retro in its feel, and we love that. Also the color. While we were looking at all these elements that we wanted to put together, so the idea also emerged that we could have an automobile chopped off, and the rear of that could be used as some sort of a seat. So we went around Chor Bazaar and all these places looking for that suitable automobile.
The exteriors are also designed on the same principle.
This property has this interior space which is quite exciting. It also has an exterior which is a partially shaded area. Now the language, the design language continues on the outside. We had even more fun there. You have this big seat which actually spells out "Make love not war," and appropriately so. We have these egg seats that are like again iconic bits that people recognize easily from that time.
This project seems to have been a challenge, but the risk has paid off.